It is actually time now for us to take a love-based framework, informed by data, educated by data, but rerouted in a general and basic concept of love, which is not unprofessional, but in fact core to who we are as a species. And when you take a love-based approach to philanthropy, to public policy, to community development, you manifest that in several ways. The first is solidarity, a sense of genuine and actual shared responsibility to each other for each person in our country being capable of expressing their full potential. And that, by the way, means creating subsidiarity. Now, that's originally a Catholic principle, but it's leaked out, and I'm glad that it has. Because subsidiarity basically says that power and choice should be in the hands of those closest to the problem. And that means that in philanthropy and in public policy, we have to begin to enact public policies that put choice, control, and cold, hard cash in the hands of people who are experiencing poverty, because we actually genuinely believe that they can solve those problems for themselves. And when I find out that a low-income child with $500 in savings is 3 times more likely to go to college, I'm pretty sure she can solve the problem for herself. I'm pretty sure she's going to. But we had to make sure that cash was in her hands. We have to stop believing that it's stupid, lazy, and broken, and start believing that it's a complex racial history, a set of beliefs about who gets assets, compounding interest in the history of home ownership, and other ability to develop resources. And we have to put lovingly choice and control in the hands of people who are experiencing poverty so they can do what the middle class in the 20th century did, which is figure it out for themselves. And they will. And any of you who work in poverty know that when you give people choice and control, it turns out they want the same things everybody else does, which is to do better for themselves and their kids. Full stop. A love-based approach really believes in social connections. It believes that the friendships and bonds that we inherently make are actually constructive and can be leveraged because we surround ourselves with love. Now, not everybody does. Sometimes we all surround ourselves with bad influences, but we don't bake into public policy that you gotta break it off. We say, figure it out. And our social policies and our public policies should do the same. Look at Lyft, right? The national organization, they were just big in the Red Nose Day, those of you who are still TV watchers. Look at Lyft, where they take an approach of helping families navigate out of crisis for themselves, right? Look at Family Independence Initiative, which is a cohort-based savings approach model to helping people work their way out of poverty. Using this social connection-based approach, families in Lyft, in FII, on average, within 12 months, increase their savings by double digits. Now, just take a minute and figure out what you'd have to change in your life to increase your savings over the next 12 months by double digits. And these are low-income families who consistently do it in the thousands across the board every year. It is time to hold ourselves accountable to a love-based approach, one that is informed by data, but that fundamentally changes our beliefs about the poor, quote unquote, about why they're poor, quote unquote, and about whether, as a country whose future economy will rely on innovation, workforce, and for the love of God, a consumer class at some point, we might want to create an environment in which everyone can fill their full human potential and participate actively in the economy. We know assets are a part of that. We know wealth development is a part of that. We know housing is a part of that. But our fundamental obligations to each other and our ability to see each other with love are also a part of that. And it's not the part we talk about.